Hello and welcome to the Motley Croc Show. It is the 5th of July. I hope everybody had a really good 4th of July. We've been traveling so much, just trying to catch up with everything has been quite interesting itself. But without further ado, let me bring some other people in. I've got Jeff. What's going on, buddy?
Up, y'all.
And B-Rat, what are you doing?
Hey, Britt.
Hey, Jeff. I'm good. How's everybody doing?
Pretty good.
It's been a minute. It's definitely been a minute.
We've been very busy, but it's okay. It's good. And pretty soon,
good busy.
I think we have 1 week, or Brittany has 2 weeks. We have 1 week left of work, and then we'll be off on some strong ventures, I believe.
Yes. Yes.
Sure.
And then hopefully soon we can talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah, I figure for anybody just checking in or coming on, we'll probably be able to start chit-chatting about it. I would want to say probably mid-July.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure.
Almost there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we can really get that rocking and rolling. I think that would be pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
How's everybody else been? It was so was your daughter's birthday today, Jeff? And you took her out to eat? Is that what you said?
Yeah, went out to eat, went to brunch in the morning and dinner at night. Pretty much all our fun times revolve around food of some sort. So went out for Mexican food and had a little brunch today. It was a good day. Good day. Went shopping a little for her.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that sounds like fun.
It was. We had a good day. It was really nice.
That's awesome.
I'm excited to hear that. That's really cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's cool. How about you, B? How'd your day go? How was everybody's 4th of July? You probably saw mine.
Yeah, I saw yours. You know, it was really funny as I saw the video first. I was like, did he find somebody's video? I'm like, wait a minute. And then I saw it said Dan. I was like, oh my God, like that's a genuine in his front yard video of Dan. I was like, oh my God.
A little crazy. I'll send the original video with the sound. It was just we were all laughing very hard, and
I bet,
Dan
man,
was screaming at the top of his lungs. But it just the song "American Badass" came to mind when we were putting that together, and I thought, "Yep, this is what we'll do." And it's just the way he ended with the sword up in the air, and it was like boof. It was just it could have been done better. It was spontaneous and it was amazing.
Nice, dude. That's awesome.
And then Ricky Martin, one of my favorites at times, sent me a video of him launching a mortar out of his mouth. And then he told me today, he sent me I saw it on Instagram, and then he texted me today and he goes, dude, it's almost I had a migraine. I'm like, holy fucking shit. And then he said there's a picture after it, if you watch on his stories, where it's like you can see the explosion. Well, when he sent the video and he leaned his head back, it was loud, everybody was quiet for a minute, and then he kind of stumbled over and he started laughing. But can you imagine? Because we were lighting those last night, and the aftershock close to us was in your mouth. Bro. I hope he gets it right, but I don't want him to kill himself, man. But he's getting close. He's got to be careful with that, man. He's got.
Yeah, it only takes one time to put it in your mouth backwards. That's all done, dude.
I just saw it sitting. I'm like, is he going to do a 500-gram mortar? Oh my God! It launched off.
Yep, it sure did.
Launched off, but it could have blew his jaw off and everything else, or it could have just exploded and killed him right there.
Yeah, I wish I could say that's the craziest thing I've ever seen Ricky do, but there's so many others, man.
I know. I'm sure. Well, when it comes to some of the snakes, you know.
Oh my God.
I seen him do some venomous snakes. I was like, that's questionable, dude. He just has no fear.
I watched him kiss a Eastern Diamondback on top of the head from the front.
Mm-mm.
That was the ballsiest move.
So that's pretty close. There's two. That's pretty good. A 500 gram mortar exploding inside the container or bit in the face by a rattlesnake that's a pretty good close tie of events there.
If that was a hang fire, it would have blown his head clear off.
Oh my God!
At least his upper jaw and the like, man. That's
if it never went out of the tube. Can you imagine, Jeff? If it never left the tube. I've seen them blow outward, dude. It's unreal.
You know, me and Ruby were watching Ash versus the Evil Dead, the series on Showtime. I don't know if you've seen that one, but
I love it. Yes.
Super bloody and gory, and it kind of reminds me of some of those scenes in there where people's heads explode, and man.
They did, Jeff, I think I want to say it was 2000, maybe 21, and I could be wrong. For those of you Universal buffs, let me know. But they did, hey Holly, They did Ash versus the Evil Dead haunted house there, dude, and it was amazing.
Oh
When
yeah,
you first walk in, he comes kicking through this kitchen and he shoots at you.
that was
the
a couple
shotgun.
years
Pretty
ago.
good
Awesome, man.
explosion. Yeah, it was good. It was really
I've been a huge Bruce Campbell fan since I watched the first Evil Dead when it came out. And hey guys, hey Judy, hey Michelle, and
Hey,
ever
everybody.
since then I've been a freaking fanatic.
Hey guys.
And this is I think my third time going through Ash versus the Evil Dead. Ruby loved it. You know,
the series is really good, Brittany. It's like a comedy Demon Slayer it's really good because
a lot of gore.
when you first saw the Evil
Yeah.
Dead, you thought it was going to be like this horror movie, but it was hysterical, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
Army of Darkness is amazing.
All of them, every one of the Evil Deads, his role in every one of them was the shit.
Oh, he's good in everything, man. He's just freaking
Yes, Craig.
hilarious. There's another movie called Call Me Bruce,
Yeah.
where he plays himself, and some people come to his town thinking that, because his character Ash, and they bring him in to fight some demons, and he's like, I'm just Bruce Campbell. That's pretty much it.
I love it.
Oh
Yeah,
my
me too.
god.
Army of Darkness was
Army of
really
Darkness
good
all
too.
the time.
My boomstick.
I was gonna say I want a boomstick tattoo so bad, just a little shotgun with boomstick.
I love it. This is
my boomstick.
Yeah, Brittany, you have to see it because every one of them begins where the other one ended, and if
Come
you've
say
never
hi.
watched them, you definitely watch them. What's up, buddy?
Say hi. Say hi.
Oh, Captain.
Good boy.
Captain.
Who's
Yeah,
that?
I do. I need to check it out. What is it streaming on?
It's Showtime. So I had Showtime on my Paramount Plus, so I did it on there.
Oh, okay. I have Paramount Plus. Yeah, because I
You can
remember
also rent them on-
remember the
you can
haunted
rent them.
house.
You can rent them on
Amazon?
too.
Oh.
Yeah, you haven't seen any of the movies?
Mm-mm.
Evil Dead,
Maybe
Evil
two.
Dead 2, which are pretty much the same movie more or less, and Army of Darkness.
That was the third.
Yeah.
So, Brittany, it's like in the very last one, it's like he gets sent back into the medieval times from the future
Oh.
when his arm's cut off, but he has a shotgun rig on his arm. Chainsaw.
Chainsaw.
It was really good. It was, kind of like it was filmed funny, like when the Heath Ledger movie, A Knight's Tale or whatever it was, where they all spoke like common shit.
Yeah.
But then everybody was in tights and he's like setting people on fire. It's actually really and there's witches back there and it doesn't work, and he's like, it didn't work. Bruce Campbell's awesome, and then Jeff nailed it. Ash versus Evil Dead was a great series. Like I would rewatch it again and probably see things I didn't see the first time.
Me too, Craig. That is absolutely one of my favorite lines from that.
I'll have to check it out.
It is amazing. Amazing.
Now, if you watch the first two, Brittany, they were in the 80s, so they're like kind of,
easy.
Yeah, but they're cheesy. But you got to get through that to understand the story. So by the time you get to Army of Darkness, you get it. Now, granted, Army of Darkness was filmed, I think, really well as far as like if you didn't see the other two, you could get into it.
Yeah.
Well, you should see the other two so you can see when the Necronomicon, the book that bites his fingers and all that stuff.
Oh my god, man! So
you
good.
have to see it, man. It's a cult favorite, man. It's a classic.
Okay.
It really is.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I'll check it out.
One of the best, and definitely the best comedy horror series ever made, bar none.
What am I confusing it with? What else came out in like the 70s and 80s that was not the Evil Dead, but I think I'm thinking of the Walk. Not
Oh, Dead Alive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dead
Alive.
Maybe it's Dead Alive.
With the little baby in the stripy pajamas who ran around going, that kid.
Maybe
He was the child of a zombie lady and a priest.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So okay. So this is not that at all. All right. So okay. So you get it backwards.
Yes, the series The Boys was pretty good, Holly.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Holly asked if we saw The Boys.
Just started watching the new season of The Boys, which was great. So far, it's really good. The Boys is. I haven't watched the kids one, like the university one or whatever.
I'm so lost.
I didn't even know that. No.
Yeah, I watched like half an episode and I just couldn't get into it because the Boys is just so good.
Yes, it's quite.
Hasn't The Boys been on for a while?
Yeah, they're in their third season, I think.
Oh wow. Yeah. I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I feel
there's
like
some
that's been out
like
for a while.
gnarly scenes in there. Like Ruby's like, "Can I watch The Boys?" I was like, "It's probably
No.
not appropriate
You're
on
like,
so
no.
many levels." Because there's a lot of like heavy, superhero sexual situations, and some are just like, make you go, "Ooh."
Yeah,
like
not
it.
for kids. Not for kids.
Yeah, it's on Amazon.
Oh, okay, that's on Amazon too.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty over the top. I'm not sure how comfortable you would be.
Oh.
Yep, that too.
Michelle just
hit the nail on the head on that one.
That's
Oh
true
my
too.
God. Oh my God.
Yeah, I've been.
Didn't they make a series that was supposed to follow the Lost Boys? Or are they talking about making a series based off the Lost Boys?
No.
I feel like I read an article about something like that. From the 80s movie.
I liked Cocaine Bear too, by the way. That was funny.
Cocaine Bear was good, man.
Which one? I haven't seen Cocaine Bear. Is that good?
man.
Is it worth a watch?
It's a good
it's definitely over the top, but it's good. It's like, oh, that's funny. It's more for fun.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of comic relief in Cocaine Bear. And
Did
it's
you see
loosely based on a true story.
It is. Yeah, it is. They talked about the bears getting into but wouldn't have been nothing like that.
No. No, it was hilarious.
But it was good. That was good.
Did you guys see where Florida was monitoring? I think it was Florida. Was monitoring a shark that got into cocaine off the coast, and they were like, "We're watching this shark."
Cocaine
like
shark.
They had video of them like tearing into the cocaine. They're like, now we have to monitor this shark, whatever. And it made me think, I was like, oh no, here comes the spinoff, Cocaine Shark.
Sharky Rehab.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God.
Brittany can call her friend Mike, and they can do Cocaine Shark.
Right. And, he really can't stop swimming.
Can you imagine, dude?
Oh my God.
We don't even know the effects it would have on something like that.
I'm pretty sure Captain's been in the cocaine a few times. He's a freaking wild man. When he gets those zoomies, it's all over.
That's what I mean. Like, but you think about the way animals process things a little differently,
Yeah, for sure. They metabolize it a lot faster than we do.
Right.
Like when I give him sleeping pills or whatever, I have to give him about 3 times the dose that I take.
Cocaine badger. Yep.
Cocaine badger.
I would see sucky.
Michelle said there was a program over Shark Week about cocaine sharks. I want to call, find out about that.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, for sure. Love Shark Week.
That's pretty cool.
Always love Shark Week.
That's been going on for a long time.
Yeah. This year hosted by John Cena. Ridiculous.
He's pretty funny though. I've watched a lot of his movies, and he is really he's a really sharp comedian. Like his timing is on point. And I don't know if you ever saw like Honeymoon Friends with John Cena. Oh my God, he is like
Ricky Stenicki.
Yeah, I watched Ricky Stenicki the other day. It was funnier than I expected it to be.
No, dude.
I was dying.
Those guys are insane.
What's that?
I said it was insane. He's
yeah.
You figure wrestlers, dude, they're always about theatrics and humor. So I think they just at the end they kind of make good actors.
He did really well. He's done some good stuff. Definitely.
Well, I mean, you look at like The Rock. I mean, he's freaking funny.
Yeah, he's very funny.
Dwayne Johnson, he does really well. He can do serious and comedic roles, which is nice. Diversity.
Yeah, definitely. There's a couple wrestlers that made it out of their way, and then you're right, they are performers.
Oh, Jesse Black, what's up, bro? Reach out to me, man. My number's the same. Miss you too, dude. Hope you're well.
Yep.
Yeah,
Batista, that's another one. Yeah, good job. Yep.
Yeah, Batista's a good actor. I really liked his role in Blade Runner, the second Blade Runner.
I still haven't watched that yet. I got to get into that.
2049. It's really good. He just played it. He was great in there. That whole movie was awesome. I mean,
the second one.
Yes.
Yeah.
The first Blade Runner was probably one of my favorite space future style movies ever made.
The original Blade Runner was great.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And the second one kept the same theme. Harrison Ford did a phenomenal job in it. It was awesome, man. I mean,
that's awesome.
And when you watch it, Jeff, you're gonna be like, "Oh fuck, man!" Now it makes sense. Like you're like, they tied up some shit, that that
It's always so nice when they do
real
that.
strong possibility, and then you question yourself and your own biological system, and it's like, God dang, dude.
Yeah, I've watched some of these series that ended without any kind of conclusion and tons of loose ends, and it makes me nuts.
Yeah.
It's like I'll never know what happened. I gotta imagine it in my head.
I feel like I always worry when like you see those we're gonna redo or we're gonna do a prequel or a sequel to like a classic 80s movie like that. And you get worried because you're like, these are like really good the way they are. Why are we trying to alter that?
Because we view them differently now. We view them as nostalgia.
Right.
At the time we were like, that's insane. And even for its time, the original Blade Runner was great for the technology. I mean, it was.
Without a doubt. Or watching Star Wars A New Hope, even like the effects are so awesome.
Yeah.
And now you look at it, you could practically see the strings on stuff. And
But you don't care. You just don't.
No,
care.
Not at all. Some movies hold up, some don't. Like the Stephen King movies, I feel like a lot of them don't hold up. Like they kind of cheese out, like Pet Sematary, which was one of my favorites, and Children of the Corn.
Oh my God, Children of the Corn. Wait, has anybody seen the new Pet Sematary? Like the new one? Bloodlines or something like that it's called? You haven't seen it either. I haven't seen it either, but it's out. Like you can watch it at home on streaming, and I'm like, I'm tempted. I like the original Pet Sematary, and then they did the retake. Huh?
It might be all right.
Yeah.
I just
we'll have to do a movie review on that someday. I've been working at a really slow hospital, so like I've been sitting for about 11 hours out of 12. And I've just been watching everything and get my hands on. I burned all the way through Apple TV because there's so many great shows on there.
It really is. Did you watch the series C?
C?
Apple
SEE? Yes, I watched the first season or two.
Oh my God, dude. It's
with Aquaman.
Awesome. Jason Momoa.
Was it Batista who played the brother? No.
Yes.
It was?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good series.
I remember puts his hand on Momoa. He's like, listen, brother. I'm like, oh my God, look at these two.
Yeah.
Hating on each other like that, dude.
That was good. Ted Lasso was hilarious. And
none of them could see.
Oh, Ted Lasso was good. Yeah, Ted Lasso was good.
It's a shame that they ended that. They're supposed to do a spin-off with Roy. He was my favorite character by far in that show. He was amazing.
He was a lot of people's favorite. Okay, first of all, Craig Warren just said Highlander better be good. Are you telling me they're making a new Highlander? There can be only one. Let's just put that out there.
There wasn't though. There was like 7.
I know, but there was like the original. Remember?
TV show.
You remember like the very first, like the Highlander movie. It's like you can't make any other ones.
What's his name? Clancy Brown played the Kurgan, the bad guy. People used to tell me I looked like him all the time when I was in like junior high and high school. Like, you look like the bad guy from Highlander. I was like, really?
That's cool. You're gonna have to post that now. A clip of that and you in high school, so we can see how real it is.
Oh my God, me in high school would be hilarious.
Throwback Thursdays.
How do you feel about it out? It was the 80s, man.
He said yes, they are with Henry Cavill as a reboot.
See, I like Henry Cavill though. That guy is a good actor.
He was no really Christopher Reeves.
No, because nobody's going to be Christopher Reeves. I mean, but he did do a really good Superman. I got to give it to the guy.
Reeves got really annoying in the end, dude.
Yep.
Okay, yep. He fucked up, and he got really annoying with it. I'm sorry.
Superman in a wheelchair. I just don't buy it.
Oh my God.
And he did. He rolled out in his little uniform. I was like, come on, dude. Like, yes, we know. But you fucked yourself up, dude. Like, I mean, we know what happens when you do stuff. And it was always like, well, this and that. You got on a horse. You weren't ready to ride, dude. I mean, that's just, come on now.
It happens.
Yep. From hooves to wheels.
But
we'll see how that goes.
That was good, Jeff. That was all right. That was pretty good.
Yeah, the Highlander TV show was good. Man,
I guess I mean it was all right, dude. Wasn't that like a late 80s, 90s, early 90s thing?
It was 90s, yeah.
When he got
mid 90s. No. No, movie? Highlander the TV show. Highlander the TV show.
It was like the TV show I think it was started. You can look it up, but it was really early 90s, not mid 90s.
I thought it was early.
I remember that in Colorado, dude. Like back in like '91.
Was it 90?
I
The
could be
TV
wrong,
show?
man.
The TV show
Yes.
or the movie? The TV show?
TV show.
Oh.
The movie was in the 80s, like 1984 maybe was the first movie, or 85.
Right. The movies.
Yeah.
Look at the TV series, The Highlander. When did it start?
Yeah, when did it start?
No. Highlander.
I enjoyed it. They tried to make a thing off Quantum Leap too. You can't
The one
redo
with
Quantum
Henry
Leap.
Cavill. It's funny, it doesn't have a date.
The TV show?
Yeah, wait a
Oh.
minute. Let's see.
Craig, help us out. help us out. Oh, Judy says 92. Thanks,
92.
Mom.
Yeah, all right.
Mom
the
was a
original,
Highlander fan.
Christopher Lambert one was 1986.
Yes, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, that talk. Remember, he'd be like, "There can only be one." Remember how he used to talk like that? Remember, he's like, "There can only be one." Remember, that's how he used to talk.
God. Yeah.
I know. I have all these.
Wasn't he the guy, dude? Jeff, wasn't he the guy who was like Grasshopper? What was that movie where he always called that his protege Grasshopper?
Oh, you like in Kung Fu?
That was it. Was that it? Was it Kung Fu?
That was a series with David Carradine and
Yes.
yeah, you must snatch the pebble from my hand and then you will be ready.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was Kane was the main character, and he wandered the earth, kung fuing people.
Yeah, and I remember that was awesome. So it was it was 92 to 99. Beginner said, so that's cool.
Right.
That's probably why I remember it.
Early.
Yeah, that's probably why I remember it so well. Because like if it were in a 99, then I would remember it.
Right. You'd think with the Kung Fu?
No, Highlander.
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 Yeah, and David Carradine hit a pretty rough end. He was erotically asphyxiating himself, tied to his closet pole, the clothes bar, and he
Killed himself.
Yeah, they did a South Park about it, I think, actually.
Oh, I'm sure.
Jeez Louise.
I know, man. What a way to die, dude.
Right? Like,
Holy
this is great.
Moses. You know, I'm sure that happens quite a lot, more than we know.
Oh, I'm sure. I actually know somebody here in Tampa who I worked with in Arizona who did that and died that way.
I remember that, Craig. I remember Tarzan and Greystoke, The Legend of Tarzan.
Oh my God. Mirror.
That was actually cool. Greystoke.
Yep. The Legend of Greystoke.
There was a Tarzan movie that was not too long ago. And I remember to get in this town, it was like the 1920s, and this guy is walking crocodiles on leashes as he's coming off the boat. Do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
I don't know if I saw
that was the hold on.
He likes to go walking by looking like Ernest Hemingway and shit. He's like moseying along. He's like walking crocodiles.
For the Croc on a leash. That's awesome.
It's called The Legend of Tarzan. Yeah. The guy from True Blood played Tarzan.
Yeah.
The one
so
vampire
Tarzan was
guy.
a vampire then.
Alexander I am not going to pronounce his last name right. Shargard.
Yeah,
Skarsgård.
Skarsgård. There you go. That guy.
One of his kids was Pennywise. Bill Skarsgård was a new Pennywise.
Oh, seriously?
Yep. He's no Tim Curry.
That was his son?
I think it's his son. It's one of the Skarsgårds, but they're all related. And one of them was in.
That's the one Troy was talking about.
Yeah,
it's actually it's really good.
It's another Skarsgård and Thor. Hey, buddy, I know you want to go outside. I think somebody wants to go out.
Interesting.
He's handsome. He's so handsome.
That was really good.
I'll be right back.
There were some really good movies that it's based off Dracula. Oh crap. We just watched it a few weeks back. Oh, it's when they were transporting Dracula on the ship from Transylvania to the United States. He like kills everybody on board. And I cannot remember the name of the movie.
Well,
the Dracula movie with the ship?
Brother.
Yeah, when they were transporting Dracula.
There's something other.
Shoot. It's on Prime. I can't remember it. but it was actually done pretty well. I actually enjoyed
Brittany,
it.
have you watched Bram Stoker's Dracula yet?
The Dementor.
I have seen that.
Demeter.
I saw that a couple
Trip
years
of the
back.
Dementor. Last trip of the
That's
Dementor.
That's it.
Last
Intense.
Voyage of the Demeter. That's what it was.
Demeter.
Bram Stoker's Dracula was great. He had the hair.
Yeah. Yep.
And he was always like talk. He's like, "Excuse me, I loved it, dude." And
They
nobody believed me, but
Burns like that in The Simpsons.
What's that?
They dressed up Mr. Burns like Bram Stoker's Dracula on The Simpsons.
That was such a cool movie, man.
Yeah. That
Keanu Reeves did awesome in that movie. Everybody's like, Keanu Reeves not in there. Yes, he is. I don't know what Mandela effect
he
you
was
think.
in there.
Keanu Reeves is in that movie.
Yeah,
right?
he was
100%.
in there.
With the Berenstain Bears.
Which is funny because you know what? When I saw it, I didn't remember him being in it. And then I was looking up something to see this new movie he was doing because he cut all his hair off. And it was in his IMDb profile list. And I was like, wait, he was in Bram Stoker, but he was young. He was younger. So yeah, I didn't know that.
He was older than Bill and Ted's. I mean,
yeah,
right.
I think Bill and Ted's was first, maybe because Bill and Ted's I think was like how he got introduced to the world.
Yeah,
Keanu Reeves, which is still holds up classics. Such a great movie. Both of them.
Dude,
I want to see ISS. I want to
What's
see that one,
ISS?
Craig. It's like excuse me. It's like if I'm not mistaken, it's like a horror movie in space on the International Space Station, right, Craig? I saw the trailer for it and I was like, I want to see that. I don't know.
B, you're all like blurry.
Me?
No,
Brittany, it must be that great internet service she has.
Mm-hmm.
All that money, she buys that baller on a budget, fucking Wi-Fi.
They actually just put in the fiber optic. They just put in fiber optic. So we're gonna be switching.
Something? Did they come knock on your door and tell you they're going to do construction around your house?
They literally
infra something. They've been laying fiber optic cables all over Florida trying to get us better internet because we're stuck with Spectrum, and I have nothing but Spectrum in Spring Hill.
All we have is fiber optic where I live. It's Verizon.
I love Verizon. I like
Fios. It's Fios now,
yeah.
by Fios or whatever. But we paid a lot of money, and that was back in I think 2016. We paid $500 or $600, and they ran the fiber optic lines from the the boxes that are buried underground in the front to the houses. So that you got these lighted lines, dude, that run up the wall. Pretty cool.
Oh, that's badass.
But, I mean, for the most part, it's cleared real fast, and you can buy really, really high speeds if you want. But
yeah,
it's worth it.
Yeah, I had that.
They just put it in.
And then they sold out to Frontier in my area too, and they took over. But I had Verizon. But my internet service blows up.
Frontier was Verizon, so they left all the equipment the same. Thank God.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that. I'm gonna watch that movie. That looks good. Yeah, they just put them in, so I know John's gonna be looking into that now too because we only had Spectrum up here.
Yeah, it sucks. Spectrum is so bad.
It's straight trash. They have it here too, and they try to get people to go to it, but it's nobody wants it.
It's cheap as long as you buy the crap package.
I don't know if it's Spectrum or not. Or it might be CenturyLink. I can't remember.
I don't know if I have that one. I gotta let the doggy. I'll be right back.
I can't remember, but they did just put the fiber optics in all through town, all through our neighborhood, all down the other neighborhoods, over to where the school is. 2024.
I mean, this shit's been going on since early 2000s.
I know.
I remember fiber optics being installed back in 2005 at some neighborhoods. I don't understand why it's taking so long.
And then there was the fiber optics.
Go ahead.
No, fiber optics that were done by AT&T too, remember? And then AT&T had their connection boxes and stuff that you could get for cheaper rates and
for
faster
the Uverse
speed.
or whatever, AT&T Uverse. I used to have that too. Yeah, I just want something better than Spectrum, faster and comparably expensive. I get a huge discount through Verizon for Verizon home internet, but we don't have it available yet.
That sucks.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that email any day. I'm on the email list. I still check it once a week when I get frustrated with Spectrum.
I'll tell you what's been pretty cool, man. When we've been out working, Brittany and I and Jay, when we're out working and we're in the middle of nowhere and they set up the Starlink or whatever, dude, that shit is fucking awesome.
Oh, dude, I bet.
They lay that box out there and it's boop, and it finds it, and these plates lay on the ground, and then this little thing finds your satellite and You get all these it's sick, dude.
That's awesome. That's badass.
And they do it for the house. You can get it for the house, Jeff. You can buy it for the house.
I don't know.
You can buy a portable one. Yeah, so you can probably think about it. They install it. The plates are on your roof, dude, and you're getting satellite fucking Wi-Fi. It's sick, dude.
That's awesome, man. I like that. You know, you have to pay for the service along with it, or it's just.
I think you pay for the service, but it's very minimal. I think it's all part of the. You have to look it up on the Starlink website, and then they talk about the units you can get, but you can actually transport. So the one that they had comes in these transport boxes, and you have like a little, it looks like a little generator about this big with all these digital lights on it, and you set your frequency and what you need, and you just hit it, plug it in, it power packs, it's got solar panels on it. Sick, dude.
Nice. No wonder you're returning all my text so fast in the middle of nowhere.
There you go, dude. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's really neat to have. It was outside one of our base camps one time, man. It was really cool.
Yeah, I sent those out fully not expecting to get a reply because I knew you guys were remote and
very remote. But they have that technology, dude. I mean, we were in damn fucking Kodiak, Alaska in the fucking mountains, man. And we were getting it, dude. You know?
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
As long as it had a clear spot to go straight to the sky, we were solid.
Technology is insane, man. I watch it grow.
Yeah, you don't want to have trees. You don't want to have trees and shit in the way.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, for the most part. But I got in my backyard, I can there's some space.
There you go, right there, Jeff.
Yeah, and on my roof. My roof,
$5.99 for the equipment and $120 a month for the Must Network. It's good, man.
It's worth it.
Kind of TV as well. Do you get like satellite channels on it, or just
Wi-Fi? The same. All your streaming and everything, dude. It's all
Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Oh, that's all.
So if you want to get, your TV or whatever, you just stream whatever's there. And there's so many free streaming things now too for people like Tubi and TV.
Yeah, Tubi's got a lot of classics on it. There's a lot of old movies and old TV
and
shows.
And then Tubi with a B, T-U-B-I. There's one out too.
Yeah, that's the one I
Freebie. Yeah, I was just gonna say there's Freebie.
Amazon one. There's a few shows I watch on Freebie that I like. Freebie's decent, and
Roku too. Don't forget Roku's pretty good too now.
Oh yeah, Roku's good. Yeah, Roku, and they have their own like live TV.
My TVs are all Fire TV, so it's kind of similar.
The only thing I don't like watching is all the bullshit news channels. I just don't. They always have something on, some dumb shit, dude, and I just don't want to watch that.
They all got a fucking agenda, dude. Every one of them, whether they be.
I know, and it's just I get tired of it. It's the same person. They'll change the anchor, and it's the same story. They'd be like, "Oh, so and so did this, and Biden farted on the mic, and Trump made fun of him, and he can't play golf, and this." Then this fucking clown stumbles off the stairs, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, but." I mean, now he's got it. Just I don't want to see it anymore. It's enough is enough, dude.
Yeah, I'm over this shit too, man. I'm just like
I watch TV and movies, dude. I try to stay with
everything's streaming for me. I watch a lot on Paramount Plus, Hulu.
Me too. Paramount big time. Paramount and Peacock. I like watching America's Got Talent. Too. I like some of the shit people do out there and they pull off. It's like
that's fun to watch.
Which one?
America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Because I like Howie Mandel, and he just fucking sometimes he just doesn't like people, and he's just fucking rotten about it, dude.
You gotta love it.
I mean, there's this little Asian guy, and he came over and he was taking his fingers off in front of him, like he'd like move his finger and slide it down to the end and shit, and it was like he was an illusionist, but he was amazing at what he did. Like it looked like he was literally moving his shit around, dude. I was like, holy fuck, dude, what the hell?
Tonight. I saw that guy. He was super fast at what he did. I always like when Simon's like, "You sold your soul to the devil." You're a real wizard because Simon can't understand how it's
I can tell you, Bill, why you pay for cable net where you shouldn't have to watch commercials. I'll tell you why you have to do that, because some of them you don't, but they thought streaming was going to be the next big thing, but it almost fucking bankrupted all the networks because
they
couldn't keep up with the content. It was too cheap at the time, and I think they launched it before they were ready. So if you notice, they backstep now. Like, well, we're going to stream this, but we're only going to release it once a week as if it was on a real show. So you can come back to our app.
That's what Hulu does.
Yeah, and you kind of have to. Otherwise, dude, it keeps customers. Otherwise, people will do the free trial, stream everything, and then turn it off. So
dude, I can't remember which email I had on some of my free trials back in the day because I'd have I just create emails to get another month.
Right.
And they'd be like, "Oh, I tried to sign into the right account," and I'd be like, "Which freaking email was it again?" But But yeah, no, I like to wait if I'm patient enough till the series is over so that I can go and marathon it.
There you go.
Yeah.
I started watching Presumed Innocent on Apple. Amazing show, but it's 8 episodes and I'm only 5 in, and it's one of those kind of hang on the edge of your seat situations. And I'm dying to know what the hell happens. Now I got to wait 3 weeks for it to all drop.
Yeah, there was a brand new
That sucks.
documentary that they released. It's called Satan Wants You, and it's about this psychiatrist and this girl from the 1980s. It's a documentary on the Satanic Panic and how and why it started.
I'd have to watch that because I studied.
I saw it advertised on Amazon. I think I got to rent it or whatever. But that, and I want to watch the James Dio.
On James Dio, yeah, man, it was a great documentary.
I didn't get to see it. I don't even remember what it's on now, but it's probably some network I don't have.
Yeah, it's
Hulu,
if I
right?
I'll let you watch it on mine.
It's Hulu, isn't it?
Yeah, the Dio one is.
I have Hulu, but I didn't buy the premium shit because I don't use it enough, and I think
I don't have the premium either. I just have the regular, like the cheapest package.
Yeah, that's what I got. But you can watch it on there.
They made me change mine to commercial free. I think they got rid of the commercials, and it was like $3 or $4 a month more or whatever. And now I'm hooked on it because commercials I usually just mute it anyway and go get a snack or take a piss, whatever.
Right.
But
well, that's kind of good, Brittany. While we're looking some of that stuff up, let's talk. You said you had something you wanted to start on called that you're looking into called, what was it? Hidden History, right?
Yeah. Like I started digging into it this week because I was trying to put some pieces together that logically were not making any sense, which is obvious in history. But I started finding like a lot of the trails go back to Smithsonian, and then like there's just so much stuff. I think I sent some stuff to you too, where like they're actually finding, which doesn't fit the narrative. And I say narrative because that's what I feel like has been put in place since like the early 1900s of like this false narrative of what we're supposed to believe is our reality. And it's really not a reality of like timelines. And so like they have actual T-Rex skin that the scientists are baffled because they cannot understand how Tyrannosaurus Rex skin has survived in an element that it should not have survived in, according to what we believe in science. And so they basically wanted to poo-poo it away, put it in a box, and just act like it didn't exist, because then they had to basically give a proper scientific analysis on why this skin is legitimate skin and we can still pull DNA from it. And so it's kind of has science on their head because we shouldn't have skin, but here we do. And that means that if this tissue is like sustainable and actually can produce DNA and tell us what it came from, then that means that it's not from 95 million years ago, because it's not possible. So where does that put it in the timeline? And science doesn't like that because there's a narrative put in place as far as what life looks like on the earth. And what I think is interesting, like in my own theory with it, after digging in, I believe the planet itself is extremely old, but life on the planet alone, I think, is much closer in proximity than what we believe. Just because the science doesn't add up to the mathematics of life on this planet versus the rock itself that was once the planet.
Well, to make an example of what you're about to say, and Jeff will understand this because I'm sure he's looked into it before. And, when you talk about the way the moon pulls away from the Earth, right? Just continually spins. When they say, "Oh, this was 150 million years ago," then you take the mathematics that we really know now on the science of how far the moon moves away from the planet every year. And you go back 200 million years, the moon and the Earth would almost be bumping into each other, right?
Right.
So there's some interesting theories about, I really don't believe the Earth is as old as they say it is. 200 million years ago. I'm not sure that I buy that either.
Yeah.
Just for the simple evolution of from the time my great-grandparents were born to the time they died and to what I exist right now, what's happened organically as well as technology, I think we're a little bit closer. And then when you really look into when all that science, evolution versus creationist started, like in schools between church and state and all that stuff, it became a battle for them to say, you're wrong. And then they're like, you're wrong. And then we're teaching it this way. And there was an agenda. And I don't think that we were told exactly what was really found. We were told, like Jeff mentioned earlier, it's all on an agenda. It's all what they want to teach you, what they want to say. And I think that was a lot of it. Not that a lot of the science isn't real. There's some really good science out there, but I do think that there was some that was fluffed for us. Like remember the battle, Jeff, in the 80s of the missing link.
Oh, the missing link. Yeah.
Oh, never found. Never. It was all the way up to one thing, and then next thing you know, it was something else. And I always thought that
was related like to the skunk ape and the Bigfoot and all that. Some kind of
in the 80s. That was the drive. In the 80s, that was the huge drive to be like, we have to find Sasquatch because it's our missing link. Like news articles everywhere, missing link. It's like
I saw that too, Craig.
They used to have a puzzle called the missing link. It was like a Rubik's Cube, but it had like 3 chain links on it, and you'd have to turn it to see if you could get them all, the colors to line up.
Yep.
I have heard this, Craig, and I do know about this, and it's a theory that was theorized based on the images that have been coming up from the ocean of what we have versus the photos of the Titanic, like before it left, on its like mission or whatever, on its actual, and there's just some pieces that didn't line up. But I also think a lot of this theory is coming because a lot of people don't understand the decay that happens and how metal molds and things change underwater. And so I think people are pulling from certain stuff and certain missing pieces within the background from England's reports, from Ireland's reports on the Titanic. So it is a theory. As far as I know, that is the Titanic at the bottom of the ocean. And they verified that based off the 4th fake smokestack on the back. And that was, they had to build the 4th one because basically when it was built and the way it looked, they didn't like on paper and blueprint how you had just 3 on this beautiful huge ass boat. And so they were like, no, we need to build a 4th one. They're like, well, there's no purpose for a 4th engine basically for a smokestack on the ship. And they said, fine, then it's going to be just for visuals. It's going to be a blank one. There's not going to be anything coming out of it. So basically it was a false facade 4th, which they confirmed in the ocean. So
it was a place for the captain, a hot box, and there was it.
Exactly.
Some guy to be like, I just saw the Titanic and it definitely wasn't rusty when it went down. It's a totally different ship.
Well, it was like structure. It was like structured wise. Like they were saying that there was a part on the front that didn't match the original photograph of when the Titanic left port and like all these different things. But the scientists that are working effortlessly on the Titanic and recovery teams have come out and been like, look, this is what happens to ships over time. But, we'll never know the truth, even if it isn't. But there were things that they verified. So who knows?
And I there's just so much stuff out there with you get woke up every day, man, to something else. You're like, holy shit, man. Like, I can't believe this, and all the, the propaganda with food and drugs and just a long chain of connections. And I remember, and my mom and I were talking about it today. They knew as far back in the late 70s and 80s that the big pharmaceutical companies were paying for doctors' scholarships, paying for them to be in school and covering their tuition if they would, sell their pharmaceuticals when they had their own practice. And then you find, so they're getting paid on the side to lie to you. Keep that in mind. And then you find out that some of these big fancy doctors, they're paying upwards of $40,000 a month to them to push their drugs.
Yep.
And, collect insurance. And so they're not telling, oh, Jeff, well, the reason your bone hurts a little bit is because it's fibromyalgia. So we're going to give you this drug. And then the side effect is diarrhea and tooth loss. And then we're going to give you this drug to keep you going. And once you really see that, when people whistleblow, they kill themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Go figure. So, the world's been bullshit, just plain bullshit for a long time. And I'll tell you something, Jeff.
Tell me.
I started researching. I think you really enjoy this, and I recommend you try it. So I started really looking into a lot of different things on health and food and diet and all this shit. And so the deeper I got into it, I started watching some really people that I really respect and listen to as far as, that go above and beyond and do things. Let's just say for the argument, Joe Rogan. I think he's an in-your-face kind of person. He doesn't care, and he'll do whatever it takes, right? So I heard him talking to Jordan Peterson one time about the carnivore diet, right? Oh, well, this and that, and I've done this. I've been on it 80 months. My daughter now doesn't everything. So I can't tell you what to do, blah, blah, blah. So we started looking into it a little bit. And so I said, fuck it, I'm just going to run it. Yeah. So I've been on it. 2 weeks, bro. 2 weeks. In 2 weeks with no exercise, I lost 22 pounds. My joint pain's gone. My heart rate is down. My blood work comes back cleaner than it ever has.
Oh yeah, if you have like
eliminated fucking
or anything, it's perfect for that.
I got the oil, no vegetable oil, which I found out was used just to lubricate farm equipment. That's what it was originally for. Then you find out like margarine is just plastic with salt and one other chemical added to it to make it pliable, and you eat that. And it was all done. And then you go all the way back to the food pyramid. It was a lie because it was easier to do whole grains and oats, right? So how can I go? I've been doing it now like 3 weeks, and my body is I'm telling you, I didn't do a thing. And
I felt great when I
got hard. Right. Yep, got hard. All my muscles are hard. All the fat burn off around them, dude. And I was like, not doing anything.
Yeah, so when you're on high protein like that, it sleeps your body really nice, and that'll never go away.
Yeah, it's so amazing, Jeff, because I was researching it, and then you find that there's a lot of doctors, holistic doctors, and even doctors that work in major hospitals and all kinds of stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, man, I don't know why this has been taught that eating, steak or whatever is going to give you a heart attack. Simply not true. Simply not true." And then they break down that your brain is like 35% cholesterol, and all your cholesterol comes from your mother's breast milk, I think. So you have to collect all of that, and your body utilizes it. And then I got to thinking, well, you know what? Look at every predator that we keep in captivity that's a carnivore compared to our vegetarian eating or omnivorous eating critters, right? All of our omnivorous eating critters always are more susceptible to disease, always, right? And a lot of your carnivore animals, like lions, their physique, unless they're fed processed junk, like when they keep them in captivity and they get like lion sausage or whatever, and they make a bunch of meat stuff with whatever the fuck they stick in it and everything else. But when you look at predators in the wild, you never see a fat ass fucking lion running around.
They're always sleek and lean and mean, man.
Yeah. You never see a big old bald eagle's fat ass sitting there like this, not wanting to fly. So I mean, you put that together,
combed over the top. Yeah.
You got killer whales. You got the largest predator on the planet, which is a sperm whale, right? That consume nothing but pure squid, dude. And then the organs and all the stuff that you're supposed to eat. Like you're really supposed to eat bone broth and organs and all that. And the more I dove into it, the better I got. And I'll tell you what, man, it's really amazing to me how it works. Your mind gets clear. And I thought for a second, I don't know, so you've really got to close your brain down. You got to go against everything you were taught as a kid. Yeah. Right. And so it wasn't what was causing Alzheimer's and what was causing heart attacks wasn't because people were eating red meat or bacon. It's because they were eating all the sugar and processed carbohydrates. So their insulin levels were high. The sugars were causing your arteries to clog up. It's just weird shit. And you never can find the truth unless you do it yourself.
I see people get what's it called? Arteries and pieces of arteries resection and removed daily at the hospital. They get what's called a CABG. It's a coronary artery bypass graft. So they take a piece of artery and they move it around the clog and like reattach it. Pretty crazy, actually. And
I mean, anything to stay alive, man. But Michelle just said grains cause inflammation. She's 100% right. And I was a skateboarder my life. Whole life, and my right knee would always kill me, dude. Doesn't hurt anymore. And yes, I supplement with zinc and magnesium. I do all that stuff too, of course. I do liquid magnesium, and I really try to keep myself up to par. And it's just interesting to me that my blood works cleaner, like
I bet
completely better, Jeff. I don't eat sugar. I've never had a sweet tooth, but any treat that I wanted before, I stopped. And then the other day, I'm like, I'll just try a little Reese cup. I had heartburn all night, dude. I was all fucked up. I was pissed off. I was sweating. And I already went through because when I cut all that bullshit out, dude, I feel like I was on drug rehab, dude. I'm like, God, dude, I just want a Reese's cup, man. You're freaking out. You walk by and you see you walk into public and it smells like cake, and there's like cake and cookies with ice king, and all these people gobbling it up, and you're like, nope, gotta fucking make it through the desert. Gotta get through it. And then once I got that 7 to 8 days, I got through it. It was like boom. And now I don't eat all the time. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. When you eat sugar like that, especially after not eating it, your body treats it almost like a diabetic attack. So it takes your glycemic index, which is steady, and then you eat the Reese's and it goes like that.
Yeah,
you know, it's all over. And when you're in that state, you retain fat. You know, and that's why people don't eat carbs a lot, because the carb is going to turn right into sugar when you eat it.
I'm totally right.
And it turns into glucose or glycogen, and
listen,
and it stores.
I agree, bro. I agree.
Right. It looks like your body's in crisis because you've only been eating, such and such a thing, and then the sugar just puts itself in a little pouch in your body and hangs out until you get fat.
Yeah, and you hold on to that energy sometimes for a decade, man, that you don't even use. It's just a little pile of shit in there. What's funny to me is Flavia and I were talking, and Michelle just said that she craves salt all the time. It's because she has really low blood pressure, right? Well, I found out if you don't consume salt, the right amount of salt in your body, no matter what, like, you can't absorb electrolytes. So Flavio now will eat a piece of rock salt the size of a penny every day. He'll chew up a piece of rock salt. Flavio will. He'll eat a whole piece of rock salt. And he got off some of his meds that he was having some high blood pressure and this and that. He got off. When I eat the steak, Jeff, I fucking gets me some sea salt and I fucking blast it and I'll melt whole fat butter over the top.
It's crazy how important electrolytes are to your body. I mean, basic electrolytes is sodium, calcium, magnesium, bicarbonate, which is huge because it changes your pH and balances out your pH. And what's the other? Damn it. Potassium. That's the big one, because if you have low potassium or high potassium, both are heart attack inducers. When we see people that come in with high potassium, we jump on it right away like it's an emergency, because they're going to have what's called a STEMI. It's like your ST wave on your EKG. It's an ST wave elevation, so it's high, and or you can have like a D elevation, which is low. So either way, like if your potassium is off one way or another, it'll kill you. That's why potassium cyanide and it's heart attack inducing.
Yeah, and that's terrible, man. So what I started doing was I was finding out that all the grocery stores glue their meat together. Then they paint it. And then after talking to some farmers out on working, me and Brittany were out talking to farmers, they go, man, you can go out and get your meat from fucking real people, or you can buy it on a diaper. And that just made sense to me. So I started buying all my butcher meat stuff. Every now and then I got to go to the grocery store and I got to pick what I want. I got a I'll pay more money and get something that I know, and I have to read it or understand the company before I do it. But usually the Mennonites around here and up in Sarasota, man, their fucking shit is sick, bro. When you buy their ground meat, it's dark brown ground meat. When you buy the stuff from the grocery store, it's pink with all the, they actually put carbs, like a bread in with it. So it like holds it together and makes it puffy. So you have a big fat puffy sandwich. It's disgusting. Disgusting.
Yeah.
And you can tell the difference when you cook it. So I started buying steak from them. I got a steak grinder, dude. We're going to add on to the top of my KitchenAid, grind my own meat. It's been nice.
That's badass, dude.
It's been awesome, dude. And it's just really like, you just feel like solid and energized.
Those foods are where it's at, man. They really are. I don't mean the store itself, but I mean actual Whole Foods.
Yeah, when you get from real stuff, like I found out I can buy a whole cow for $1,200.
Oh, you ever look if you go to the supermarket and look at
I'll store all that meat. You take it to the butcher and cook the whole thing.
Yeah, look at an organic chicken and then look at like a Purdue chicken, which is 4 times the size, because it looks like a huge one in there. Steroids when it's alive, and then after it's killed, they pump it full of water and salt, saline, basically. So they take it and you're going to cook it all out anyway. That's why if you cook one of those huge Purdue birds, it comes out of the oven a quarter the size, because all that water and salt sloughs off.
Yeah, and they super grow them. And I'll tell you, one time we bought what's called like a food turkey or whatever, and we took them to the petting zoo, and they grew up so fast, Jeff, that they were so big, so fast they couldn't hardly walk.
Yeah,
they're like heart attacks waiting to happen, and they're genetically programmed to do that now, and that's just sad. And so when you really look into really getting your food naturally, like if I was to go buy hunted elk, or I really like bison, I love real true bison meat, because that's one of the few meats in the country when they're out of it you can't buy anymore. It's not mass produced and steroid and all that stuff. It's bison, and it's like really good.
Beefalo, another good one.
Yeah, and they start now, and then Bill Gates and all his bullshit. I just reading that some of the countries are banning his food over there. They will not allow it in their country, Scotland being one of them, right?
Yep.
So because he's making all that fake meat and stuff, that's just what the fuck, bro.
Oh, like the impossible meat and all that.
Yeah, but he's
Mhm.
making. They're like, no. And then his French fries now that he puts out or whatever, and the chemicals he's putting that McDonald's bought into, giving kids aneurysms, and they're having like their heart stopping at like 8 years old because everybody processes different. For the most part, you're like, oh, my son doesn't feel or my daughter doesn't feel right. We're gonna go to the doctor. Some of them just fucking die. So they're eating McDonald's fries, and they fucking die because they have a reaction to a horrible chemical because you're too fucking lazy to do potatoes.
Right. And the crazy thing is the McDonald's fries. I don't know if you ever read Fast Food Nation or The Jungle or stuff like that. A lot of those foods, they cover them with a scent because that's how you get the taste. So those fries don't really taste amazing like they are. It's just hitting your nose first, and it's fooling your body into thinking that's
right.
Anything that has like a 50-year shelf life is something you should be concerned about. Like those McDonald's burgers.
I found them in my car after like 8 years, and they look the same. They probably don't taste the same, but
there's two things, Jeff. Like I learned this at a whiskey class one time that my neighbor had me go to. My buddy Jay took me, and I thought, wow, he probably knew all that stuff, but I had never been to that. And they talk about when you go to drink real aged whiskey, you open your mouth, and at the same time you pour it in your mouth, you breathe in with your nose. Yep. Otherwise, you won't get the true flavor of that whiskey, right?
Absolutely.
So that's a science that's been learned for years. And so
wine too. It's the same with wine. When they taste wine, the first thing they breathe the nose and
drink it.
And they chew it. The wine. It's really
to really try to break out whatever it is. It's the way it runs back down the glass or whatever. It's a science.
Yep. Oh, the legs. Yeah.
So the one other thing I thought about, and we're all guilty of it, was I started buying like whole cheese from the Mennonites, right? Like I got this ball of cheese that's pressed, drained, pressed, screened, pressed, cheesecloth and that. They don't add all the bullshit to it. Now, how many of us go to the grocery store? And this, you're going to know this when I say it. And then you're like, what the fuck? So when you get real cheese and you grate up your own cheese, that's real, and you put it in a bag, it sticks together. You're like, fuck, it's chunky, right? I just grated it so it'd be nice. But you go to the grocery store and you buy a bag of cheese and it's shaking all around.
It's got anti-caking agents in it and stuff.
Yeah, they spray it with a chemical so it won't stick, that if it's heated up, becomes highly cancerous and toxic to the body, which everybody heats it up, dude, and they put it on their food. It's like you wouldn't think, because you're like, oh, I'm going to the store, and it's cost a little more because they've graded it for you. Mm-hmm. No, they've added chemicals, and they're making your convenience is killing you.
Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah, like table salt. Why it's so easy to shake out of a shaker is because it's got all kinds of anti-caking agents in it. But if you buy like kosher salt or sea salt, there's nothing in there, and there's no iodine.
I have kosher salt. Yeah, I have kosher salt.
Kosher salt.
You bang it on the corner of the table, Jeff. You're like, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I shake and bang it. And I don't know if you guys know, they originally put iodine in the salt to prevent people from getting goiters. So that's our country knowing what's better for us than we do, right? So like everybody
took a tour. I'll tell you this, Jeff. We took a tour in Gettysburg, Brittany, me, and Justin, just because we were there. And this guy took on the role of a doctor during the Civil War. And I got to tell you something, dude.
A sawbone.
The shit that he was doing to those people that they thought was the right thing to do was absolutely fucked.
Oh, yeah. Cutting off a limb with
Nowadays, you'd be like, that's torture. We're putting you in prison. Yeah. I was like, what? The guy was really cool, man. Great guy, but he really acted the part. He had the soldier in front of him, and he's like, he's got this or he's got that. So here's what I'm doing. They bring these little tools out. They heat it with a torch. They make him bite a towel. They shove it into his penis. I'm like, oh my!
Oh yeah, that's how they used to treat venereal diseases back in the day. They would in there and do it. I can't remember what I watched. You know what it was?
It was a hot iron, dude. What Deadwood. The fuck?
Deadwood. I think they did that. Like the main character.
Yeah.
And it's some of the stuff they used to do, from leeches to
he showed that too.
The only thing that stuck that still works today that he said was very good, especially if you were stuck out and you were wounded, was maggots.
Yeah. Oh, maggots will clean out a wound.
They would wrap maggots around them, and it's still a practice today because they only eat the bad stuff and they keep you from getting gangrene. That's fucking cool as shit, dude.
Yep.
Yes, Michelle. They talked about bloodletting too. They thought if you had a high blood pressure, if you let some blood out, it was like letting air out of a tire.
And then they did leeches.
You know, that's
really didn't. They kept doing it to George Washington until they killed him or something. Is that what he said, Brittany?
Yeah. Yep.
it's nuts, man.
Yep.
Let's
They
kill
he,
him
I,
a little more.
He said something. His last words were, "Don't let them bleed me anymore."
yeah. Yeah. I was just gonna say, yeah. That's what he said.
They have
The
documents of
practice
where
was
George
so
Washington was getting bled out so much because of whatever sickness he had that some of his dying words, he was telling his families, "Don't let them bleed me anymore," because he was saying your body will tell you when you're.
You can feel.
You just have to learn to listen to
it. Run out of your face when you're losing blood. Like you can feel it just drain.
Yeah.
And George Washington too, he was so afraid of being buried alive that he asked to be laid in bed for 3 days because there was that chronic, like they think you're dead, but you're not really dead.
Cholera.
Yeah, because your heart basically
like
close where they can't hear it.
Oh,
yeah. So he told them, he said, leave me in my bed for at least 3 days because the doctor said it would take 72 hours, like they would be able to determine he was like officially dead. And he's like, and then bury me. So he literally stayed in his bed in his home for 3 days after he died to make sure he was officially, because that was his death.
Probably pretty preserved when he had no blood in him.
Yeah, pretty much. I would say he's like mummified.
You need that fluid because that's what keeps your blood pressure up. You can go into hypovolemic shock without enough fluid in your body, and that's what kills you at the end of the day.
I think that is what killed him. I think that's what they said anyway, Troy, when we were there.
Hypovolemic shock? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like you can have too much food, like people with heart failure end up, their legs, like their ankles are like this wide and stuff because they hold on to all the fluid.
But it comes down to
usually those people are diabetic.
Oh, without a doubt. They lose, you
diabetes, those big purple legs.
That happens all the time in the hospital.
They're wearing like those Super Mario shoes. You know, those shoes that look like Super Mario Brothers are so big and they can't lace them. They're like a New Balance Triple Z wide. They're like walking around. And here's what pisses me off about that, man. You see them in the fucking grocery store wearing a mask. And then you look in their basket and you're like, you're going to wear a mask out here, but you're going to go home and eat that?
Right.
Yeah.
What part of your body do you not care about, dude?
I've cut down 1 box of Twinkies a day now. So
I'm down to 12 oatmeal cream pies.
I don't want to get sick. I'm going to throw my mask on, or I'm sick and I don't want to blow it all over the place. I have to go to the store. Great. Throw your mask on and try to, stay away from people.
Yeah.
But when you're like 400 or 500 pounds, and you're like, you're dragging along, you smell like an old wet gym sock, and you're filling your cart with Doritos, 6-stack of Debbie cheesecakes, and 4,000 or 5,000 bottles of Pepsi. That makes no sense to me.
Stop.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, you want to hear an interesting story? Totally kind of off topic. Hey, knock it off. No.
He was just saying he wants to hear the story.
Right. So the other day, actually, the 3rd. You got a problem, sir? You want to come up and see everybody? What? So he wants something. He's jumping up and down and bargaining. So enough. Hold on. Let me hold that story for 1 second.
Go ahead, man. You got it.
He's talking back to Jeff.
We'll let Jeff finish up his story and let him tell the story, and then I'll wrap it up for everybody so we can start our week. And then we won't be on next week, but we'll be back the following week. And I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Well, it's interesting. All I wanted to say on that is, like, if you look at, like, what is the best way to control a society is to weaken them to where they rely on you and they need you. So how do you do that? By infiltrating their food, their nutrition. You weaken them by their health. You make them rely on you. It's the best way to control a entire society pretty quickly. And you remove any information of good health and good nutrition, because if they become smarter than you and their brain functions a lot better than yours, then they've now outsmarted you and you have a crack in your foundation. So it's all an agenda. A crack in your back.
Got a crack in it. So I'm in the ER, and it's a quiet ER. It's at one of the smaller hospitals that I work at. Sure. And I see this thing come in because I watched the ER board to see if there's anything I need to do, and it says foreign object in rectum. What's up, Ricky? Just in time.
Oh, jeez.
So I look later, and it says pen cap. So apparently this woman, she's about 550 pounds. It was like 230-something kilos. And she was pleasuring herself with a pen. And the cap got stuck up there. I'm like, common sense. Use the other side of the fucking pen. So
now you
Oh
got
my
laying there,
God.
you're 500 pounds. Someone's trying to dig a big
Right.
pen cap out of your fucking ass.
Oh, dude.
Oh
You're
my
wasting time. Now hold on. That's
God.
a fucking idiot, a lazy piece of shit idiot. That's wasting Jeff's time for somebody who really needs him, or
Right.
somebody who really needs that doctor in that room. That to me that should wait. What, you shove that up your ass and it's stuck? Well, we have someone who's going into shock or they're having problems with their breathing. You're gonna have to wait till we're done with everybody else.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
Luckily, my scope of practice only goes from about the nose to the diaphragm. Anything under that, all good, man. I don't do poop or shit, vomit or nothing.
Oh God.
Well, I'm just saying, man, they may have a hard time breathing in there because it's so terrible. Someone's got something up their ass. They're pulling out a fucking thing. They got to waste your time. There's people that need you or need a doctor or need the
without a
nurses.
doubt.
Really
I'd have a hard time breathing in there, I think.
I would too.
Oh, dude.
Ricky wants to know if you miss it yet, Jeff.
No, not at all, Ricky. I will never. People ask me all the time, "Oh, can you just pierce me at my house?" I was like, I'm so retired. I love what I do. I make stupid money, and it's to the point where I was at such a slow facility. I was like, you guys got to put me somewhere busier. Like, it feels disingenuous to sit on my ass all night, for $40+ an hour and do nothing. I want to work. I want to do something. It makes the night go by.
Thank God. Well, thank God Big Farm's paying for all that, huh? Let's just keep it going, dude. Let Jeff, you got to ride that wave, dude.
We're not for profit too. So at some of the for profit hospitals, man, they'll do anything. They push the meds, they push treatments, they push everything.
And people wonder why the damn insurance is so fucking high, man.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like
even the animal insurance. Even animal insurance now, dude. It's ungodly.
I haven't.
Let me just tell you. I'm going to tell you this. There's so much bullshit anymore in this industry. So if you want to do shows like legitimately without getting in trouble or maybe an accident would happen, you have to have insurance. That shit is $10,000 a month.
It's crazy.
I mean, a year. $10,000 a year, dude.
Still too much.
$10,000 a year, right? What the fuck? So
that's more than my weed bill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I would rather spend 10 G's a year on weed, dude, than I would that. You never use it. You just give that money away.
Yep, I agree.
Give it away.
They throw so much money away in the hospital, man. Like the waste, it blows my mind. Like, let's say I got to put a CPAP on somebody with a mask. They go up there with like 3 different size masks and they try them all on the person. The ones they don't use, they throw them away. Like if I were to buy those retail, they're like $130 a piece. In the hospital, they probably charge them like $200 or $300 a piece.
Right? Don't they have a recycling center where they would take that back and they can reseal them and recycle them like we used to do with the old tattoo grips with the ultrasonic fucking machines?
Oh yeah, I remember.
And then what was it? We used to use ultrasonic, and it was like a pressure cooker. It was called autoclave.
Autoclave.
Yep. We always used I used to use the 2-inch grips.
Yep.
And put them in there after everybody. We'd take the tubes, unscrew them, drop them into the ultrasonic machine. Pull it out, drop them in the autoclave, lock it in, and they were ready to go. When you took them out, man, you melt your fucking skin off if you didn't work.
Yeah, it's 250 degrees, and it goes through. It's like 15 psi or whatever.
Yeah, it's sick. Kills everything in there. Nothing lives.
Back in the day when I was briefly working out of my home, way back in the day, I used to use a pressure cooker, like a stovetop pressure cooker.
Oh yeah, remember them? Those are cool. Just lock them in, and then
you
watch it get to that high, and you're good. Yep.
Yeah, and now I have my Instapot. That's my new pressure cooker, man. I love that thing.
Instapots, those are good.
Oh, I love my Instapot. It pressure cooks. It does everything. I make chili in like 15 minutes.
You gotta love that.
Oh hell yeah, man! You know me. I like it. I like it now. Always moving.
Here and now.
I love it.
Ricky said he caught 2 autoclaves on fire so far. Well, that's Ricky.
Did you do it by shooting a motor
at his face on fire too?
Oh my
You're talking about a guy that shoots fireworks out of his mouth.
Right. We totally Beetlejuiced Ricky in here. You know that, right?
You did.
Yeah, dude. We brought you in. But I'm going to wrap it up, man. We're an hour and 17 in, and I just want to say thanks for everybody coming out and supporting the Croc Show again and hanging out with us. And I'm sorry we've been sparse. We're just so busy, but it's worth it. And when we're done doing what we're doing, we'll talk about it, and you guys will see a whole lot of us. So
I can't wait to find out what it is.
I can't wait.
I know.
At the end of it, can't wait to tell. And at the end of it, we appreciate it. And thanks again, Jeff and Brittany, for coming in and always making it.
Love it, man.
I appreciate that. And we'll see you guys a week from now. So not this coming week, but the next week we'll be back at it. And that's it, man. Thank you, Michelle. It's great to see everybody. Thank you for
Bye,
coming in.
Michelle. Good seeing you again.
And we
Bye,
want
everybody.
everybody to have a great night. And we